I found a good use for the Harbor Freight transmission jack. I'm able to go high enough to lift up my ATV so I can replace this extremely bent disc, and it's pretty sturdy enough. I'm gonna just stick the jack stand underneath there. But yeah, if you're in the market for one of these Pittsburgh low profile low lift transmission jack, works pretty fine with me. Alrighty, so I took off the wheel already. It was 14 mil nuts. Obviously your mileage will vary. This is for a Polaris Razr 900. I have a super bent disc. It's causing braking issues. I did use don't have the tools or anything like other fancy people, but I did use a Pittsburgh transmission jack, low lift, which apparently is actually not that low since you can see it lifted it pretty high there. So next step is going to be to remove these things, these nuts right here. I gotta find my tool. Here it is. 90% of the time. Seems like this is a 5 mil Allen wrench. So we're gonna remove this first. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this while I remove it. Oh, never mind. Came off pretty fast there. Yeah. It's a really short bolt. So make sure not to lose it. It's very, very short, as you can see. And then down here, I believe it has a rubber gasket. So while I go get that, I'm gonna pause this. Alrighty, let's go ahead and remove this with a little picky tool. So after review, actually don't remove this bolt. I didn't want to ruin that, so put this bad boy back on. And then so instead, I remove these bad boys over here. Top one and bottom one, which are $15.
Huh? How are they?
Maybe going the wrong way there. Still by hand to not make a lot of messes. Loosen it up first. Ow. Obligatory smashing your knuckles. This is a 15 mil, if I mentioned before. Alrighty. Slide this over. I gotta replace this rotor. For this, move the camera over a bit. Gotta remove this cotter pin. I should be using my needle nose pliers, but God knows where I left those bad boys. followed by, what size is that? It's a 1 inch, so it's gonna be bigger than 1 inch. So 27. I am a Ryobi enthusiast. We haven't noticed. Of course, these are not very tight. Never supposed to tighten these up. There is a little washer that goes here. Anything else holding it down at this moment. My flashlight out. Oh, let's see, this is going to be a little hammering to get it out. Thankfully, it's not like I could do any more damage to it. Let's go get my purse real quick. Here's my purse. Alrighty, after some little persistent hammering, took it off. You're gonna want to clean in here, just because it does get nice and messy. More than likely, you're gonna have to re-grease it as well. As you can see, but next steps is, now that we've removed this, we gotta remove these bad boys right here. They are top.
Why does the pan look like it has more high-tech stuff?
T30.
Huh?
Correction, it's not a 230. It's actually a, I don't know what the heck size this is. It says 40 on there, but I highly doubt it's a T40. The problem is I don't know if I have a impact strong enough for that. I'm back. Let's see if this will work. No, not strong enough. I have to break it by hand. Alrighty, I was able to remove it with a little persistence and jerry rigging. Obviously, don't do this at home, kids. Get a reducer, followed by a chrome vanadium reducer, which you don't use these for impact, but you know, don't listen to me. Followed by a 1/4 inch, followed by this little bad boy, which took all the grunt, and as you can see, did not bode well, but it actually took them all off. So that lets me continue progress and not having to go and buy more tools. You know, it's always fun to buy more tools, but you know, sometimes kind of don't want to overspend. Here goes the new rotor. As you can see here, nice and sparkly. Seems to fit, so that's good. Had some red thread locker on. Boy, do they have a lot of it too. Hopefully the brakes work now, because the rotor was so bent it would actually push the caliper out, so you would try to brake and you wouldn't brake. Quite sketchy. My nephew ended up de-beating a wheel. Damn near almost flipped because of that, so note to self. Make sure your brakes are bent. Alrighty, installed this thing back on. 4 bolts. Next up, let's swap out these brake pads. This is new to me, so I am assuming you just kind of push these out. Let's see. So this came out right here on this corner. Maybe you can see. This side came out, but there's nothing going on. Oh, there you go. I guess you just kind of have to finagle them out. I don't know if that's how they go back on, but we'll find out. Oh boy. Maybe you take this off. I don't know. I want to crease that. Pretty sure someone's gonna be in the comments saying don't do that, but that's the only way I can see it to come off, unless I take these off, which I wasn't planning on doing, but whatever. Let's see what size are these bad boys. Let's see there. 10s? Yes, sir. I would only bring one battery. And darn well, I'm using multiple tools. I have no idea what the heck this is. Boom. Alright, cool. Let's put on these brake pads. New ones. Oh, hell. That makes it a lot easier. Yeah, okay. So, note to self. Taking off that black thing sure as heck did help. Yeah, super easy now. Now let's reinstall this. I believe it goes like this. Some thread locker on it. I'll see if I have some real quick. See if I have some thread locker. Yes, I do have thread locker, so let's. This is red or orange? Can't really tell, but it's orange enough to me, so I'll put a small amount. I'm not sure I'm gonna be doing this again anytime soon, unless I mess this up somehow. Tighten it by hand just to make sure. You may ask what the torque specs are. I'm gonna assume it's whatever my wrist thinks it is. After doing this long enough, you kind of get an idea of what needs to be how tight you need to go. Alrighty. There you go. That's good enough. Next up, I'm gonna install this bad boy back on. Alrighty. I'll grease some of these fittings up while I'm up here. Show you real quick. You see some of that grease coming out of that corner. Yes, the tie rod boots are junk. Eventually I'll get those swapped out. Where's this one at? Oh hell. I don't know where it's at. Here it is. I'm also going to put a little bit of grease right here just to make it easier to remove next time. You may ask, Nesto, why are you wearing gloves now? Shouldn't you have been wearing them earlier? To that I say, I'm not the brightest color in the crayon box sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. It's because I don't want to get grease on my fingers. Pain in the ass. As far as the other stuff, I don't care. It's just dirt. But grease is annoying as heck to remove. All right. There you go. Now we do a reverse order. Do this, followed by this. Poop. It's not far enough in. There you go. There you go. Yeah, definitely needs more. Alrighty, back on here. It is pretty hand tightened now. I don't want to put it too tight. Well, it seems to be okay so far. Yeah, so let me just tighten up this bad boy first and then tech tip, make sure that the brake pads do go one on top of the other and not overlap, because then you're gonna have a really bad time. Now let's bring the camera around real quick so you can see where we're gonna put the bolts at. One bolt. Two bolts. Shoot. You see me looking at my watches. That's the only way I'm able to find out where this camera is facing. Gotta love technology, man. This one. 15. 14 USB. Oh, wrong way. Nice. Next up, hand tighten. Or torque to what I believe is the correct torque specs. And that, my friend, is changing a rotor and a brake pads on a Razr 900 XP. Now I just gotta find. Obviously, you do not want to reuse cotter pins. AutoZone is already a little past its bedtime, so I'll have to just go tomorrow and get a new cotter pin. And I don't know exactly what year Razr this is, but it's a 900 EFI with the LED headlights. Other than that, that's it for this time.